Welcome to Fear Files, where the shadows hold secrets and the unknown lurks just beyond the edge of your sight. In the heart of a quiet suburban neighborhood, the peaceful facade of Brookwood Hollow conceals a chilling tale of darkness and mystery. Over the next 9 chapters, we invite you to join us as we unravel the terrifying story that has haunted this community for generations. Subscribe and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss a single episode of this chilling saga.
Brookwood Hollow was the kind of place people dreamed of calling home. Nestled in a quiet corner of the country, it was a suburban utopia where the streets were lined with well-kept houses, manicured lawns, and blooming flower beds. The air was filled with the laughter of children playing and the scent of freshly mown grass. It was the sort of neighborhood where everyone knew each other and the sense of community was palpable. Emily Harding stood on her front porch, taking in the crisp autumn air. The leaves had begun to change, painting the trees in vibrant shades of red, orange, and yellow. It was her favorite time of year, a season of transformation and quiet reflection. She watched as her children, Lily and Jake, chased each other around the yard, their giggles mingling with the rustling leaves. A smile tugged at her lips. Moments like these made her feel like the luckiest woman in the world. At 36, Emily had carved out a fulfilling life in Brookwood Hollow. She worked as a librarian at the local library, a job that allowed her to indulge her love of literature and share it with others. Her husband, Tom, was a supportive partner who worked in the city, but always made time for family. Their life was, in many ways, picture perfect. As she sipped her coffee, Emily's thoughts drifted to the upcoming Halloween festival. It was an annual event that the entire neighborhood looked forward to. Children in costumes, carved pumpkins on every doorstep, and the sweet scent of caramel apples filling the air. It was a celebration of community and tradition. This year, Emily had volunteered to help organize the festivities, and she was excited to contribute to the event that brought so much joy to the neighborhood. "Mom, look!" Lily's voice broke through her reverie. Emily turned to see her 8-year-old daughter proudly holding up a brightly colored leaf. "Isn't it pretty?" "It's beautiful, sweetie," Emily replied, admiring the leaf's intricate patterns. She glanced over at Jake, who was examining a pile of acorns with intense concentration. At 6, he was endlessly curious about the world around him, always eager to explore and learn. The sound of a car door closing drew her attention. She looked up to see Mrs. Thompson, their elderly neighbor, unloading groceries from her car. Emily waved and called out a greeting. Mrs. Thompson waved back, her face lighting up with a warm smile. Despite her age, she was remarkably spry and often regaled Emily with stories of the neighborhood's history. Brookwood Hollow wasn't just a place. It was a community woven together by shared experiences and mutual care. The Hardings had moved here 5 years ago, seeking a safe and nurturing environment for their children. They had found exactly that, and more. Over time, they had built strong connections with their neighbors, forming friendships that felt more like extended family. As the afternoon sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the lawn, Emily felt a deep sense of contentment. Life was good. She couldn't imagine living anywhere else. Later that evening, after dinner, the family settled into their usual routine. Tom helped the kids with their homework while Emily tidied up the kitchen. The familiar sounds of pencils scratching paper and quiet conversation filled the house. It was a comforting symphony of domestic life. After tucking Lily and Jake into bed, Emily and Tom retreated to the living room. They sat together on the couch, Tom's arm draped around her shoulders as they watched the news. The anchor droned on about the usual topics: politics, weather, local events, but Emily found her mind wandering. She was already planning her next visit to the library, thinking about the new books she wanted to recommend to her regular patrons. Just as she was beginning to doze off, a strange sensation washed over her. It was as if a chill had settled into her bones, despite the warmth of the room. She sat up, rubbing her arms, and glanced at Tom, who seemed oblivious to her discomfort. "Did you feel that?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Tom looked at her, puzzled. "Feel what?" "Like a cold draft or something," Emily replied, glancing around the room. Everything seemed normal, but the unease lingered. "Probably just the wind," Tom said dismissively. "I'll check the windows before bed." Emily nodded, but the feeling of being watched persisted. She shook her head, chastising herself for being paranoid. It was probably just the changing weather playing tricks on her. They went to bed shortly after, Tom falling asleep almost immediately. Emily, however, lay awake, staring at the ceiling. Her thoughts were a tangled web of gratitude for her life and an inexplicable sense of foreboding. She told herself it was nothing, just a fleeting feeling that would pass by morning. But deep down, she couldn't shake the nagging thought that something was about to change in Brookwood Hollow, something that would shatter the illusion of their perfect neighborhood. As she finally drifted off to sleep, Emily had no idea how prophetic her unease would prove to be.
Each day, a new chapter will unfold, revealing the secrets of Brookwood Hollow and the dark forces that seek to consume it. Brace yourself for a journey into the unknown, where every shadow hides a secret and every whisper tells a tale of horror. Subscribe and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss a single episode of this chilling saga. See you next time on Fear Files.